7:34.
And I apologize for our tardiness.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Michael.
Here.
Sandy. Here. Kelly.
Here.
Ken.
Here.
Lori here.
I would like to, with regards to the agenda, remove items number 5 and 6.
Under new business.
New business. I would like to add a discussion of CTV Channel 6.
Under new business?
Yes. Okay. Michael, do you have anything for the agenda?
The change to the barb shut, item number 1, the pay increase. I just was given this information, 5 minutes before the meeting. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I'd appreciate it if I could look at that and go over it next month.
Oh, we're going to put that on the agenda. It's not even on the agenda at this point.
Well, it's under,
What?
The pay rate, bar.
It's just
Was that going to be part of the contract?
That's supposed to be part of the contract, I believe.
Yeah, the increase.
Okay.
Increase.
I think
This-
the appropriate time to discuss that
Is
would
when
be when we
right,
get to
when I
that
get,
item 9.
because this has been on the agenda, so why didn't you call to?
I was
say you
only-
didn't receive it?
He didn't receive
Oh,
it.
yeah,
the
just got
part,
that
okay,
today.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think the appropriate time to bring that up would be when that topic comes up.
okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Sandy, got anything in regards to the agenda? Ken?
No, we'll be talking about the consent agenda when we get to it, so.
Lori, anything with the agenda?
No, okay.
Can you motion to approve the agenda as amended? I'll make it.
With adding it, I think we need to do the adding first and then the approval of the agenda with the amendment.
Okay.
So I'll make the motion to approve the addition of Kelly's new business number 11, discussion of CTV Channel 6. And thank you, and the removal of 5 and 6.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay.
Now I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll make a motion to approve it as amended.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Actually, Kelly, I wasn't trying to take your job. I
No,
had made the
it's okay.
motion, but
I-
Ken
yeah.
took over for me.
No problem. Okay. Motion to approve consent agenda.
Can we discuss that first?
Yes, you can.
Oh. Number 4, all these classes, what are they and what do they do for the township?
The proper protocol would be to remove those from the consent agenda and put them onto the new business, and then approve the consent agenda, and
And
then,
then approve each item.
yeah, and then go through the check. Is that what you want to do, remove it from the consent agenda? To
Yes.
discuss them?
Yeah, to discuss them. Let's move that down to the new business.
Number 4, move number 4 down to number 12.
So Ken makes the motion to remove those items?
Yes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Sorry, I'm writing this.
Can we still discuss it?
When we get to it.
Consent agenda.
If you want to discuss it, you have to take it off the consent agenda.
Oh,
That's why we moved number 4 down to number 12.
can I make a motion to bring number 3 also down to new business?
Then we need a motion to rescind our consent agenda approval.
Okay.
Sorry. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, okay.
Yes, you can. I'm sorry, what was the motion?
To
Rescind.
rescind.
And move item.
I'm moving item 4 and add item 3 and 4 to new business.
Well, we're rescinding the approval of the consent agenda, and then just remove number 3. So we're rescinding the consent agenda approval as amended. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Now,
Okay, now I would like to make a motion to move number 3 down to new business also with 4.
Well, you have to make it number 13.
Then number 13.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, now,
you
I
have-
make a motion to approve the agenda as amended again.
I'll second that.
It's parliamentary procedure, fun.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I lost my spot. Okay, open session. Anyone wishing to adjust the board on the agenda items only? Okay. Unfinished business, item number 1.
When I was doing the minutes, I had noticed that we made a mistake in our motion, so I make a motion to rescind changing the township general fund account from Fifth Third to Talmer Bank.
I'll second.
And if I may explain why we just asked to rescind that. The actual item was to change the tax account from Fifth Third to Talmer Bank, but the motion that was made was to change the general fund from Fifth Third to Talmer Bank. General fund is already at Talmer. We need to have a motion to take the tax fund from Fifth Third to Talmer. So I'm asking to rescind that one so we can correct it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Unfinished business, item number 2.
I'll make a motion to approve changing the township tax account from Fifth Third Bank to Talmer Bank.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, motion to approve contract with our shoot.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Barb Schutt as township assessor. In order to discuss it, we need a second.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Well, I was given this particular packet of information about that subject about 5 minutes before the meeting started. So I would like to table the subject until next month.
If I may ask Mr. Zoran.
He's talking about this stuff.
Right.
With her,
But you did receive the contract, correct? It's just the pay
just the information.
information is what you got today?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have. So,
And these are protected gear.
Okay.
is there a motion?
Well, first we gotta do the motion to approve the contract.
I already did, Sandy
You
seconded.
seconded it.
Can we approve the contract? And
And do the pay separate?
is the pay separate?
Then it wouldn't be the same
Then it's gonna
contract.
be this, right, and.
Well, the contract really doesn't have anything about pay.
Well, the contract has the wrong pay in
Payment of
it.
service, I
already.
guess.
But
the
that's her pay that she's
That
getting.
she's getting right now, but she wants an
We
increase.
can increase it next month.
Well, let me make a correction on that. Her pay at this point in time is not what is in this.
Right.
Her pay is actually, it says in the contract that it's $1,250 per month. She is actually receiving $1,287.50 per month, which comes out to be $15,450 a year. And the $1,250 equals out to be $15,000 a year. So there's a discrepancy in the contract already as to what her pay is. So,
Who wrote this one out?
John. Well, let's finish through this motion. So Lori made the motion to approve it, Sandy seconded it. So all in favor?
Well, I would,
well, he put in for a tabling, which
We'll go
supersedes
on this
the...
first.
Oh, you did see table?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear that.
I would like to make a motion to table the subject of the contract as far as shut.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hold on, I'm ready.
Well, I mean, nobody caught the number thing until, I think, today.
Was there any nays?
Opposed?
Thank you.
Sorry. Can I just need to make a quick adjournment.
Is that break or something?
Yeah, just for 1 second. So can you make that motion? I'm just gonna make an adjournment for 1 second.
Well, you can make a motion to...
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
1 second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh my God, you're making me nervous.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to make a motion to table Ruth's contract until
And
the
Bill's?
next meeting.
And both?
We gotta do one at a time.
Yeah, we need to do the original motion and then we can do the table. So I'll make a
I'll
motion
second.
to approve the contract with Ruth Short as assistant to the assessor.
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion, we're just informed of request for pay increase, and I don't think that the board has had adequate time to go over it, so that is why I feel that we should table it.
Okay, so
All in favor?
you need a
For
motion
table?
and you need a
Table.
second. So Kelly is...
Make a motion to table.
And I'll second
Wow. All
it.
right. Let me go there.
Okay, and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Kelly. Number 3.
I make a motion to accept the approved contract with Boston as building official and zoning administrator.
I'll second.
then. The only discussion I have for Bill is that it's under the days, it should say Monday through Thursday, not Friday. Dang, that was on his
I'll
salary.
make a motion to table that, and we get them all corrected at the same time.
I'll second.
You got it? Michael, you're seconding that one?
Yes.
Hold on.
That was your motion to table it?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We're going right along.
Okay, item number 5 and item number 6 are removed. Item number 7, motion to approve survey of the cemetery for $2,900.
Where about 4?
The American.
Oh, I missed that, I'm sorry. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Michael. Okay. Recently I went to a Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks conference, and I spoke with quite a few people who do this service, but I really was impressed with Ameriscan. What the service is, and you all received it in your packet, is they provide the service of scanning our documents so we can become virtually paperless. Obviously, there's some things that we have to keep in paper form, but for the most part, we can do a lot of things scanned and put in the cloud. The cloud scares me. But that way we can free up a lot of our space, because storage space is in great demand in this building. What it also does, what the service also does, is you can do minutes on demand. You can, for instance, in the last year and a half, I've spent probably 3 months of my time looking through old minutes so I could verify whether something was voted on and passed or not. I know Kelly has done the same thing, and Sandy's done the same thing.
And ordinances.
Ordinances, policies, resolutions, things that we can't find. If we get all this stuff scanned, you put in a keyword, and it pops up within seconds.
Is there still somewhere a paper copy?
On the majority of this stuff, we would not need it. By law, we would not need it. But for other things like the minutes, we have to keep the originals. Oaths of office, I have to keep the originals. So it can be linked to a website, and they offer a website to go to, where our residents can go online and do the search and come up with an ordinance or the set of minutes that they're looking for, or a resolution that they're looking for. The checkbook can go out there, the bills can go out there. If someone wants to see why we paid this much money to, like Michael asked me tonight with regard to one of the vendors on the sheet, what was that for? That invoice could come up and you could see exactly why I paid this lady $15, which was to refund her pavilion rental. But
I think bonded, and then what about security?
you're just asking the questions that I can't answer because I'm not the representative. I can have them come and talk to you. I'm sure they are.
I would assume they are, but I haven't seen it, and it says it.
See, you should have went with me. I'm sure they are, but I won't say 100%, so we can. And what this is $500 a year for the service. They come in and get us set up and then show us how to scan our stuff. And the first year, they will give us 6 months for free, so the first year would be $250, and the following years would be $500 a year, which to me is a phenomenal price for what they're offering.
Is that minutes going to be part of it? Were they asking for $9.95? Minutes on demand?
That's a different package. That's a different package.
But are minutes going to be on demand there with them too?
Our minutes will be in
With the 500.
with the $500.
Okay.
Yeah, all of our documents will be for that $500.
I think this is an excellent service.
I'm excited, I mean,
I do, like,
it's like, oh my God, I'll be able to see my desk again.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve Ameriscan services.
Wait, like,
Do we know how long they've been in business, or have they ever changed? If they took the cloud that blew away, where does everything go that we had?
I can't answer that. He did, I'm sure he did tell me, but
and the webinar.
I had so much information coming at me that,
Well, so are we right now.
but I can ask him to come and give a presentation if you like. He did a webinar for me in St.
I like the idea, but could he come and do that and explain everything to us and kind of,
You're in Shoal
Guarantee it?
Township, so I'm sure he could make it.
But you guys already did the webinar, Ken can just call him and ask the question.
Yeah, you can do a webinar.
It's-
That's true. You can call him if you want, or. if
do
you
I have
want.
time before we vote?
Call him right now.
I don't know that he'd be at that, no, I think he's at home by now. But yeah. We can table that.
Did you,
It's an 800 number, I wonder if they are.
Michael, you made the motion to approve, and Sandy, you made the motion, you seconded it.
Correct.
Correct, now we're discussing it. So Ken, if you want to make a motion to table it, then we'll go.
I would like to table it just to find out a little bit of background. It's not the idea, I think the prices are right, I love their theory. I just hope that they're there after 2 or 3 months.
They've been around for quite a while, and he's got quite a list of, I'm sorry, I didn't. include it.
Oh.
Ken, make a motion to table it. Do we have a second? Okay, we don't have a second.
He died.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so back to the motion to approve it. Michael approved it, Sandy seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Okay, item number 7. The survey for the cemetery. It's the Great Lakes subsurface, and they're gonna provide a quotation to do ground penetrating radar survey for the township, which we are desperately in need of. I once again had to go and guesstimate where somebody should be buried, and I don't feel comfortable with that at all. And it's something that we really need to do. The total cost for the survey is $2,900. So I'll make the motion to survey the cemetery for $2,900 from Great Lakes Subservice.
Is this the original motion to open up discussion?
We didn't get a second yet to discuss it.
Right, that's what I'm asking.
Right.
Okay, I'll second.
Because we're all confused.
Yeah.
Where we're at today.
It's
Any discussion?
With regard to what they will do. No, I don't know. I think it's kind of important to know where people are.
Oh, I do too.
Do they do DNA so we know who's actually in there?
No. But I don't want to have
That might be
to
better.
exhume somebody because my feet were off by so
Right.
much compared to somebody
We
else's.
accidentally.
And my idea of going out to find where to bury somebody and having 2 cans of spray paint and a measuring tape is not fun for me. And I'm not doing it.
Something
I think we'll vote on the
your own
board's
consultants
voting.
can do?
No.
Something they can add to this?
This is actually the only company we could find, and we contacted MTA, we contacted the county. There's nobody that does it.
Are they pretty sure that 14 hours will do it all?
That's their estimate.
This is their
that they
quote?
use. Yeah.
Okay. Is that everybody second?
I did.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else for discussion? Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, motion to approve waiving township electrical permit fee for the installation of the handicap door.
I'll make a motion to approve waiving the township electrical permit fee for the installation of the handicap door.
I'll second that.
And
Any discussion?
I know this sounds kind of silly or crazy to have the township waive its own permit fee. It just kind of cuts out a step in the process, which is me writing a physical check to the township to pay for the permit that we need to install the door. And that's why we're asking to waive it, so I don't have to write that check to the township and hand it to Sandy so she can deposit it right back into the account that we just took the money out of. That's what that is.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve website disclaimer.
I'll make a motion to approve the website disclaimer.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion. With regards to the website disclaimer, we all know that our Facebook and our website was shut down. Just to make sure, we wanted to be clear that we didn't have any issues from anybody with regards to things that were posted or if they're incorrectly posted or typos or anything like that. We had our township attorney investigate it. I think I'm going to read it to you guys so that you have a little bit of knowledge, but this also will be available at the township. And it just says, pursuant to the board's decision, please find attached below language which I believe should be displayed permanently and prominently on the Cottrellville Township website homepage that will alleviate the necessity for posting agendas, minutes, and/or public notices of regularly or non-regularly scheduled meetings on the website pursuant to MCL 15.265. So what it's going to say is, please note that no agendas, minutes, or regularly scheduled or non-regularly scheduled minutes should be posted on the website whatsoever to avoid triggering the website as a location for said purpose. So that, here's how I'm going to print it. So if you go, I'm also going to put it on the Facebook, so it's going to be right on our homepage and right on our Facebook page. It's going to say this website is not intended to, nor shall it post monthly or more frequent updates of public meetings or minutes or public notes of regularly scheduled or non-regularly scheduled meetings of Cottrellville Townships. Meeting notices, parentheses, regular or non-regular, agendas or minutes will be posted at the Cottrellville Township Hall with our address and in an area accessible to the public in accordance with MCL 15.265, parentheses 7. So that way we can still have our website, residents can have access to information. It will not have minutes on there, which is another reason for us getting the cloud. That's what I call it.
The cloud.
And that will be something, and then that way the township won't be liable for any mistakes. And when the minutes do go to the cloud, they will be after they're approved by the board. So it won't be drafts, it'll be approved minutes.
Well, and it won't be on a regular basis, it will be when I can get to the scanning portion of, so,
It makes it so there are websites accessible for our historical society, our planning commission, our zoning,
course.
Parks and Rec, you know, things like that. So, with that, does anybody else have any more discussion? Me? Okay, all in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed?
okay, at this point I have a question.
I said,
I didn't hear you.
yeah.
I have a question before we move on to the next one. Then, do we need to do a motion to reinstate the website? Or are we going to wait until next month to bring that up?
I'll make a motion to reinstate the website.
A second.
Wait, I guess the motion approves the I'm sorry? We're gonna make a motion to we need to make a motion to reinstate the website and a motion to put the language on the website.
Well, we just approved the language.
Right, so now we're gonna do, right.
That was my question. I
Okay,
was just
yeah.
asking a question. Do we now
Okay,
need to
gotcha.
do a motion to put the website back up?
Yes.
That was my question.
So,
So Michael made a motion and Sandy seconded.
Can we get it to the business?
Yeah, we probably should.
I quit. Ratings anymore.
I will in front of measure to see.
Okay, please. Here's one. Got it all done. Wait, I got one more for you. Take it.
All right, are we amending the agenda and adding it at the end? Okay, so, Michael, would you like to amend the agenda to add your motion to the end?
Yes, I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to include the motion to reinstate the Cottrellville Township website.
Okay.
Item number 14.
So, do we have a second?
Well, I'll second that.
Continue taking.
I know. Okay, thank you. Now we can vote.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now I got one. We didn't do a roll call for the cemetery because we're spending money.
Well,
Do we do?
no, because resolutions are the only thing that you have to do unless you're doing salaries.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Because
Because
it's a
it's so long.
misnomer that you have to do it whenever you spend money, because if that's the case, then we have to do roll call on everything.
Right, okay. Just want to make sure. I was getting afraid because
No,
we're changing.
under Robert's
I
rules.
figured, hey, let's just do it more.
Resolutions.
Right. Item number 10, discussion on the property next door to AJ's house. Okay, basically, we've been working on this one for a long time as a dangerous building, part of our dangerous building ordinance. And we have not been able to we haven't been able to contact the lady who's on the deed. We attempted through the sheriff's department in Florida to contact her numerous times. We couldn't get a hold of her. We entered an entry of default against her. We had a hearing on July 7th, and then from the date of that hearing, we were contacted by one of her family members who gave us an update as to why we couldn't contact her. And now he has stated that he is going to file on behalf of her parents. So we postponed the hearing until this next month. So now, the only thing is that we have to decide, we postponed the hearing because now we actually have a family member and a human being that we're hoping will work with us. So that, because if we have to, if the judge decides to demolish, for us to demolish that house per our ordinance, and we can't get it, then the township has to pay the cost of the demolition, and it either goes on her tax bill, or it becomes a lien. Let me see, I highlighted it.
Are the
So-
taxes up to date?
Yes. So that the expense is paid up first for the demolition of the house. So the choice is either it's a lien on the property if it's sold. We have to anticipate the cost of the demolition, which would mean getting estimates for it. And then we have to also, or if we just border it up, then we have to seek a license from the court to board it up, cut it, clean it up, you know, and all that still comes out of township until the property is sold. So what we decided, you know, was, okay, well, let's postpone it, because we knew that Judge West, being that this man just came forward, is gonna give him a chance to look over everything. Or Judge Kelly, thank you. So we're hoping that if we work with this man, that he will help us to do something with it. So,
It'd be less of a burden on the town.
exactly. So that's where we're at with that.
Okay.
So what I was going to do was just put out a demolition estimate anyway. It doesn't cost us anything to get estimates, so that way, if the judge does decide, we kind of have an idea. And the other problem is that lately, what some judges have been doing is they're deciding who's demolishing the house. So we want to try to kind of avoid that
Right.
too, because we want to do it as
Judge
close.
decides that?
That's what happened in the Clay, is it Clay or China Township?
That is, yeah, it was over there somewhere, but now they're working on the Kimball, the big sports arena. The township's gonna get like $300,000 demolishing there. So, and then my other method behind that madness too is to have them go look at the cabins down at the waterfront park. While they're looking at that, to get an estimate on
The
that.
demolition people.
Yeah.
Yes. And then.
It's two estimates as opposed to just one.
Right, and then with regards to that one, with the waterfront park, I'm still chasing after, I'm looking for development grants, so I have a meeting with some people next week to help me search for grants. So I'm gonna see, kinda, you know, at least try to tie everything in to figure out something. So needless to say, the bottom line is I'm gonna put out some, request for estimates for both of those, and then the hearing will be on Monday. So this is basically, this discussion was just an update so that everybody was aware as to what was going on with it. So, any questions, anything? All right, we'll move on to item number 11, discussion of CTV 6. We voted to have CTV 6 come in and videotape our meetings and the agreement was half of the franchise cost of the cable fees, which is what the residents that pay the cable fees pay for. I'm not happy with the service. The first meeting, our sound was terrible. The second meeting that they posted, I think was
Half of it was cut off.
half of it was cut off. They're not here today for our meeting, and half of the franchise fee cost us $16,000. Oh, plus they had to reinstall new equipment on top of that. I'm not happy with it. I did leave Paul a message letting him know that I'm not happy and that I'm adding this to the agenda.
Well, and with regard to that, they had given us a quote for $8,000 and change for the equipment. And then they turned around and said, well, we can't get that anymore, so we're gonna charge you $9,000 and change for the equipment. And so I said, your quote was 8,000 something. Well, okay, then I'll take it out of the franchise fee. Okay, fine. And then, while we were trying to figure that out, I get a bill stating, you're late on paying us that, so we're now gonna charge you $900 some for a late fee. So, I'm not happy with it either.
I mean, I think the idea is great and everything. It has nothing to do with us because, you know, as a board, we decided that it would be beneficial to the township. But I don't think that the township should be paying this $16,000 we can put somewhere else. If this is the kind of service for them. Just have to use Michael's video.
I think we need to hear what the problem is.
Yeah,
because,
I mean,
you know,
I would-
we may find out that something happened that we're all going to be so.
Yeah, I mean,
It might have
and-
been that.
Yeah.
You right this time.
But no phone call, no, you know, that's what I'm saying, is that we need to get something, you know. I mean, I'm all for like one more chance or something, I don't know, but I'm not happy with it, so I just wanted to see what you guys thought, your thoughts.
We should talk about it.
Yeah, let's find out what happened and then we'll bring it up at the next meeting.
Anybody
Find out
else?
what's going on.
Okay. All right, so that one's stuck on. Okay, continuing education requests.
I had some questions as to what this is really, these classes are really going to do for the township.
Okay, with regard to what?
All of these education classes that we have information.
If I can address A and B.
Go ahead, you go first.
A and B is the clerk to attend BSNA training for general ledger. Let me read the whole thing because that hasn't said it. General ledger, accounts payable, cash receiving, miscellaneous receivables, purchase order, and fixed assets. What this is a get-together, and it's kind of like a workshop with BSNA, which is our software that we utilize for accounts payable, for our water billing, for the general ledger, for cash receiving, for all that stuff. And what this is we get to go and sit in a room with people who know everything there is to know about this software, and we get to work on things that we have problems with, and they get to tell us the new things that have come up that can make our life a lot easier. So it's a free class. It's in Bath, which is in East Lansing. And I'm asking to go to the July 18th session so I can learn more about the general ledger and all those items, and see what's changed, because they're always updating and upgrading, and all I'm asking for is mileage and a meal.
Okay. Well, I was really looking at the ones that says
That's
Excel.
my turn.
Oh,
Oh, and the other one is for utility billing for Helen to go to, my deputy. So that's A and B.
that's all for the
C,
E.
D, and E are Kelly.
Okay, mine are, let me see if I can.
While we're still on the subject of the Excel one,
We're not there yet, that's where
Oh,
we're
okay.
right
Yeah, we're here.
The Excel one is to help with formula functions to do our spreadsheets, or things like when I do the budget, that I can just program things in instead of having to punch in every single thing. It helps to, or it's for, just saves a lot of time and a lot of steps for graphing charts when I want to do presentations for people. I can do them instead of having to call somebody to make up the presentation, or calling county to see if they can do it, and then giving them the information and then having to get it back. I can just learn to do it. This is paid for, when we all voted, when was that, back in
November.
last November, at $200 a piece for the classes through the Fred Pryor. We're not paying for anything, this is just mileage. These are all included.
Yeah, these are all.
And the $200 that each of us were voted on to take the classes, whatever classes.
So the only thing that's
they
going to cost the township now is just mileage?
Is mileage,
for
right.
these
And the day one is the basics, the day two is beyond the basics. And then
With regard to.
all of these, the 4D, that one's the same thing. None of these are
Paying for the class.
paid, the classes are paid for, the $200. So where you see where this class is $79 and it's $99 and the other one says whatever, we already paid for them.
Yeah.
So when we paid the
$199
$200, any classes that you wanted to take for that whole year,
Well, it's not the classes, it's the much of the mileage
And
and
then-
the out-of-town expense.
I'm not staying out of town, they're right in Troy.
Okay, so you'd be driving back and forth?
Right, and then the other one's a one day, and then this last one, the exceptional business writing and goof grammar, because we all know I can't spell, that is to help me to write grants, because I have, the DNR is offering some grant writing seminars coming up, which, that way we don't have to pay somebody $2,700 to chase after grants. I mean, I know with the consultants, they'll do it, but it also helps me to see what they're doing, and there's a lot of grants out there that we can go after. I mean, I got the road grants, I got the park grants, I got the demolition grants I'm looking for, I got
Don't we have an engineering firm that has a grant writer?
We do. This will help.
I have a question with regard to the Excel. You mentioned that it will help you with the budget. Does it, am I understanding you correctly?
Yeah,
That
to do
it will-
spreadsheets.
It will input into or communicate with BSNA so that when you do it.
No. It'll communicate to her with our Excel that we already have. I can put our stuff on our Excel, and being that we're all a wireless server, you guys can punch in the same thing. You guys can go in the same books and that. So when we're looking for certain topics and that. So, oh my.
So in effect, though, you're gonna have to do it twice.
Right, and Michael, you
Excel.
can, they have a whole list of things there, because I think John was the only one that wasn't going to the.
Yeah,
classes or whatever.
he's the only one that didn't sign up.
Okay, what was your code?
Who was the only one that didn't sign?
Ken.
Ken.
Oh, okay. What I was going to say is, the Excel, just so everybody knows, there's no question, after you complete some form of training, you'll be much better at it. So that's just pretty much all I wanted to say.
Anybody else with any questions?
Nope.
Okay. I'm lost for where I am. Okay, continuing education class. So, you know what, we didn't even need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda item A, or 4A, B, C, D, and E, which is the continuing education for the clerk, deputy clerk, and supervisor to attend the outlined classes.
For mileage and meals.
We're not doing this one.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. Dang.
Motion carries. Okay. Item number 13, treasurer's report.
My question was, I'm looking at the check register. I have no idea what any of these things are for.
First, I need a motion to accept the treasurer's report as written.
That's the
No,
clerk's report.
no, it's 18.
That would be, what is that, C2?
Oh, you said 3. I think you meant 2. Because what you have is accounts payable, which is number 2, not 3. 3 is the treasurer's report.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought the treasurer payable, okay. I make a motion to amend my
Original motion.
original motion from number 3 of the treasurer's report to the clerk's report, number 2.
Thank you. I'll second.
Lori, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We have to make a motion
I'll make a motion
to
to approve.
discuss it first.
Well, you have to make a
Yeah,
motion
okay.
for discussion, so I'll make a motion to approve the item number 3 under consent, item number 2 under consent agenda, approval of accounts payable and payroll clerk's reports.
All right, to discuss it all second.
Okay.
Now,
Now, discussion?
all of these checks are written. There's no explanation of any of them. What do we need to do so that, so we know what all this is for? What's involved to get a receipt for any of this or any kind of other than just,
I can make this suggestion.
okay, that's what we're discussing.
Okay. If you notice that there's a lot of these here, so it would be extremely time consuming to copy them all. But for whatever I have on the list for that month's being paid or what needs to be paid, I can have an accordion file alphabetized and we can look at it. You can go through and fill out that invoice if that would help. Because it's a lot of paper and a lot of time.
Well, I might not be
To
the only
make
one
copies.
questioning. I mean, maybe somebody out there wants to know what we got from Sam's Club.
Doesn't that foil?
Yeah, but as a board member, you need to.
Right, but I mean, he means like if the residents want to know.
Yeah, those are foiled.
Because I see what Ken's saying, you're saying that it'd be nice to have for each one of these, like a memo
An invoice.
in there.
Or the invoice, so you can see
Right.
what the invoice, like Michael had asked earlier about the Kathy Pfeiffer check for $15. If you don't know who Kathy Pfeiffer is, or that she even did the part, you wouldn't know why, and it was a valid question, so I have no problem with bringing those.
Well, I think that if somebody, if a board member is asking for this, that they get the packet, then they should have the information before the board meeting. And then then that's their time to
I'd
question.
like to amend the agenda to add another item.
We gotta vote on this one first.
Another person to work in the clerk's office so they can make copies of all the bills.
That's
Well,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
serious.
How do other townships? I mean, I'm sure that most, there's other questions from other.
Well, other townships put it in the accordion file, and the board members can come in at any point in time after they get their packet and they have a question, or they can come in early before the meeting and look through it. But I think for me to take the time to, because these are multi-pages on invoices, some of them have 5, 10 pages stapled. Do I make copies of every single sheet of paper? Now you're talking 100 pages of just invoices a month.
Well, so I think that we have the motion to accept the clerk's report. We're discussing it. You can always make a motion to, somebody can looking into it, what other townships can do, or to have a memo put on the statement.
Or any of the backup for any of these readily available to anybody to come in and look at anytime they want?
Once I pay them, I file them, but if you want me to, if I've paid them, I can stick them in an accordion file prior to the meeting.
Will
Any
all of that
prior-
stuff be in the cloud?
Okay, here's the, yeah,
All the
Like in the
stuff?
cloud.
every single one of those would be in the,
Okay, what about all the other stuff, like each of the charge cards, receipts,
yep.
every single thing, every invoice,
Every piece of paper will be in the cloud.
and then what? If there's something that's in question that's in the cloud, bring that into discussion here.
You can print whatever's in the cloud.
And what do we do with the print?
Well, if you have a dispute or
Or
you
you
have a
can
question, you
email
can
the
bring it to
cloud
the
question.
meeting, or you can call me up personally and ask me. I have no problem explaining why I paid what I paid.
Okay, I mean, just like right here, what's census?
Census is our meters for the water.
Well, that's nice. But no one knew that
And my meters.
for $1,500. You know, some of this stuff could be explained a little bit easier or kept track of a little bit more by other people.
Sure.
You know, I don't know what Don did for $4,100.
That is multiple invoices put together. So, yes.
Good, they'll all be in the cloud?
Yes, they would all be in the cloud.
Okay. And what did the city of St. Clair do for us for $8,400?
This wonderful stuff that we have a dispute with right now.
The city of St. Clair, or is that Channel 6?
That's
This is
Channel
the city of-
6, it goes, yeah, it
through
goes
the
to the city of St. Clair for the video camera.
See?
But
Well, it's an answer.
I would kind of agree that when you're looking at it,
Yeah, you know.
But if you
I mean,
look at the, if
yes.
you look at the bottom, it says total of 59 checks, so.
Right.
I mean, I don't have a problem with giving the information. I do have a problem with trying to accommodate you.
And then it'll
with
be in
this
the
kind
cloud.
of- Yeah. With this kind of copying, I personally have has anyone looked at my desk? Or the floor around my desk?
yes, we have.
I mean, I have a hard time.
Is this something that will eventually be scanned?
Yes.
Company?
Yes.
So everything.
I'm willing to work 80, 90 hours a
So-
week if we get the scanner and come in and get everything.
Easy.
Until then,
Well, you've already, Well,
No,
next
no,
week-
I'm saying, so until then, does it solve your problem?
I mean, if.
Well, yeah, because we're gonna get the scanner, you're getting it out next week.
Right, so you-
So it'll be available the week after.
that's what I'm saying, until it's available.
Until it's
Well,
available.
let's have some sort of a time limit on it until it's available.
Let's try this, and I'm more than willing to try this. I will, when I receive the invoice, and kick me, Sandy, if I don't do it, I will immediately make a copy and stick it in the file, 2 copy for packets.
And I can do some of them, I sign the checks, we could
Okay.
maybe multi,
Yeah, or what I can do is, well,
Well, here's my question. Why can't, when you're printing this statement, why can't there's gotta be something in the computer, in the system that will say DTA, bill time period from May 1st to May 31st. Duluth Construction,
that,
1809
If you
River
look at-
Road.
if
There's
you
gotta
look at
be
the form,
something.
If you look at this form, there's no room for that. However, on the, it'd be easier, truly, to just take the invoice when I get it and immediately make a copy of it. Stick it in a folder. And at the end of the month, when I run this list, go in and put all of them in the copier and just make, because what happens with trying to do this is in a big batch is, I got staples I gotta take out, I got multiple pages I've gotta keep together, I get phone calls, I get
Okay.
people coming in,
I'm
and
just
then
trying
I
to
put
make
it
it
down
easier.
and I can't find it, so. It's the.
Well, just so it's a little more explanatory to us,
No, I have no problem giving it to you, that's all.
you know, what's KCI?
That one I will have to look up because I
Sure.
said.
I didn't get the check.
That one I'll have to look up because I looked at that one too and I can't remember.
Okay,
That's
so
a one-time.
what is our
Our resolution.
resolution today?
Let's go on the cloud.
Sandy and Lori are gonna work together to make an accordion file, so if somebody has a question about what was paid, they can pull it and copy it.
and then,
That works?
we tag team, maybe it won't be so
Yeah,
much.
and with you getting your
Until the cloud is
packet
over our
on
head.
Thursday before, and Michael Friday before, or whenever, call me.
Well, and I think the
Michael,
board
if you have a
member-
question, call me or email me and I'll scan it.
Well, I won't have the
and-
question until after I see what the bills are.
That's what I said, when you get your packet on Thursday, before the meeting, look through it, decide what you have a question on.
On Monday, I think that you contact
Yeah.
on Monday, because that's that way you're not scrambling,
Maybe there's a question on some of the charges before you pay them.
Ooh,
See how it works.
I see how that works.
maybe Ken should come and sit in here with you while you're paying them, and then that will solve the whole problem.
I can pay $8 and some person will give you $8.13.
Well, might be worth it.
There's gotta be a way. All right, we'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Oh, you guys will. I'm out of there.
Question.
Yeah, I got you.
Sandy and Ken and Lori, that's all yours.
Okay.
Okay, so,
We need a motion to approve that.
do I have, we have the motion was made by you, it was seconded by Ken to approve the clerk's reports. All in
I
favor?
think it's actually treasurer report.
No, I changed
We
it.
amended the,
Yeah. Okay, so, all
Aye.
in favor? Aye.
I
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
need a big note.
Okay, item number 14. That was,
I'll make a motion to reinstate Cottrellville Township website.
website, that was it. Okay, right here.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Hold on, let me write it down.
No, yes, sorry.
And send it.
Yep.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now, I just have a couple of things before public comments. We, with the tax bills, we put out the newsletter. we asked for residents of Cottrellville, which I was hoping this would be broadcast. If anybody does not have broadband service, to contact the township and let us know, because they are working, the county, the broadband committee that the three of us sit on, is working on mapping it out. So people have emailed me, and this is my broadband map that I'm making for the township. So anybody that doesn't have broadband coverage is in the blue. So we want to be as accurate as possible so that way all the residents can get good broadband service. So even if you know of people, but it's more helpful if I have written documentation. So that way I forward all these to the broadband committee, plus I print and save a copy. So that way it's more verifiable than me just saying, oh, hey, this, I have the residents that are actually helping me with it. So the more people we can get, the better coverage we'll be able to get, and the more accurate it'll be, so that we have that service. Also, with regards to Shea Road's almost done. They're working on the shoulders. Hopefully that will be done by the end of next week, weather permitting, if not sooner. We have the limestone coming in. I'm kind of waiting, because TTK told me a thing about whether we get the limestone if it's wet or dry. So I want them to deliver it when it's dry so we can get more limestone. I said, well, they go out there and pick my pile out on that, but they do. So I was like, well, okay, well, we're waiting until next week. So the areas that will get the limestone is Mayor Road, Broadbridge, parts of Broadbridge, parts of McKinley, Markle between Starville and Mayor, Arnold between Starville and Mayor. If anybody wants more information, I have a map of it. Bruce Street engineering design will be completed next week, so hopefully we'll get to work on that July, hopefully by August. So, and that's the one that we got with the local match. So just for clarification, Shea Road, the county paid for all of that. Cottrellville didn't pay for anything. And when we had the delay, it was a 2-week delay because they sent the asphalt samples in to make sure that the asphalt was up to par. Because we want to make sure I think they're doing a great job. Bruce Street, $36,000 project. It only cost the township $18,000 because we got the local match with that. It was needed. Waterfront Park, we had the DEQ and the EPA out there. June 19th, I met up, Sandy and I went out there with the contractors, and there was a lot of them. And so we have nothing to do with the contracting bids, that's all the DEQ and the EPA. So they hope with all the permits and they'll start work on that in October, and that should be completed for that. I'm just trying to say all this before anybody gets up for public comments to save you some time. The county commissioners are approving they're having a meeting on a countywide ORV ordinance. If anybody needs a copy or is interested in that, I think that's August 5th. And I think that's all we have for now. Anybody for public comments?
Yeah, I have a question about that scanning thing. I'm glad you brought that up because it is, when we're discussing it and stuff, when you said that it'll be on the cloud, will the residents be charged for that?
No.
No. You also said you come in and get copies of it. I personally like to see the invoice, the due date, when the check was written, if there was any penalty and interest. That's the stuff I'm interested in with the township. So if it's a folder, are we going to have access to the folder to see when this invoices came in? To see when it was due, to see when it was paid?
I don't know, I'm just learning about this all tonight.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Do you want me to answer?
Sure.
What this is when we input it, we put it into files. We could do like the checkbook, the invoices, stick those in a file and then give access. Oh, that was another thing that we can do. If you want a copy of the minutes, if you want a copy of the agenda, you sign up for it. There's going to be a page that you sign up for it, and every time
And
that's
all that's going
updated,
to be cost-free to the residents.
cost-free to the residents. And if you sign up for that, as soon as that file is updated, you get an automatic email. I don't have to do anything but just scan that document.
And you mentioned about the minutes. I know there's a time limit for the draft. I know one is 5 days, one is 8 days to be available to the public. But is that going to be, where's that going to come in?
That's going to be just in the township.
That's
Okay,
just,
so they still have
yeah,
to come into the
Yeah.
township for
right.
those.
The only minutes hitting the cloud is going to be the approved minutes.
But I really, it's, people at home with their checkbooks, they put in the memo section, the bill is due, whatever, and, you have all the information there. I'm surprised that your checks don't have some of this on there.
We do, it's on the receipt portion of the check that you tear off.
But I'm just saying for us to see, is that what we're gonna see, your check
If
stub?
This check stub has it on there,
And
yeah,
it'll
so.
be together where we don't have to search.
Dan, I might have to
files?
look into, but that would be an awesome thing
Yeah,
to do. So, yeah,
okay.
that way the public can see that it was paid and it was paid
Because
timely.
I know when I was on the board, the bills were being paid late because they were waiting for them to be approved by the board, which is ridiculous. If you have normal everyday bills, you should be paying them on time with no penalties, no interest. So it would be nice to see that. Yeah.
With regard to that, we do have a policy where if there's going to be a late fee assessed, that I am to pay that and then bring it to the board for approval, so we aren't assessed that late fee. Because that's
Well,
ridiculous.
sometimes you are, sometimes you're not,
Yeah.
it's a toss-up.
Right. But,
you know,
we do
we
have
do-
policy.
I know,
We're
we
going to
did
make an
have a
appointment
policy.
to discuss with this matter further.
Oh, no, it's just the idea that I
I
guess it's
know.
nice to know if they're paid on time.
Right.
Because I don't know if the general ledger has a penalty, placed. And I know we were supposed to be able to have access to a computer, which obviously there still isn't there.
Oh,
It's a read-only thing, but it would be there for us to see.
we talked to the IT guy about the computers that we were going to use, and didn't he say they were obsolete with?
No,
with
because they were all Vista, but they were Vista or they were Windows 7. They can be updated to 2017, and I think at least 3 of them are Vista. I didn't look at all of them.
Okay, and I did try to call them today to ask them about that, and their phones are there temporarily out of service. So I don't know if it's because they got hit by a storm. But I don't know.
I told him that Dad should talk to him because he has more idea of what his expectations are for the historical society. So I don't know if it's
Okay, and I forgot 3 things. The Board of Review is meeting on Tuesday, July 22nd from 7 to 9. The Township Picnic is July 19th, which is a Saturday from 12 to 3. And we are going to have a Phragmites class here on the 23rd from 7 to 8:15. And
Of this month?
of July, yes. And that is Mr. Williams, who is in charge of the Phragmites Management Program over in Clay Township. And we have signed up, that's part of the St. Clair River and Restoration Preservation Board, the committee that I sit on, that we want in conjunction with a whole bunch of townships so we can get more money to spray and try to get rid of the things. Hi, Tony.
Hi, how you doing?
You good? How are you?
Good. How you finished?
I am. Ready? Go.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to come and make an announcement, maybe to address the board, to see if I could get some kind of approval to go, since we're on the educational ticket tonight, maybe go and get some educational on Parks and Rec. Think I could do that?
You know what?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, because I did forget one more thing.
Oh, okay, well, go, you want to start my minute, so you can go
Yes,
ahead and
start your
finish.
thing. No, I'll talk to you
I
after.
was just joking.
I'll talk to
Okay,
you.
let me say, I'll make it real quick. Yeah, we, Parks and Rec, I'm Tony from Parks and Rec, in case people don't know, that's not here. We're gonna have a picnic July 19th, and anybody have your kids, bring all your kids, grandkids, whoever you can bring them up, because we're gonna have food, refreshments, and It's gonna go from 12 to 3, like Kelly said. Just wanted to break up something and try to get to, like a meet and greet to meet, people in the township.
What kind of food is it going to be?
Hot dogs, chips,
And
sodas.
sodas?
Yeah, they didn't give me a good budget here, so we gotta go with hot dogs. So, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's gonna be hot dogs, chips, pop, water. I'm working on some other things I'm gonna pay for myself, so I didn't have to go to the board to get it, but maybe some ice cream or something. I'm working on that.
Oh, nice.
So, if, I just wanted to come out and make that public announcement, and I heard you getting ready to get rid of contest, so I don't know if people at home can be able to see it, so.
Did we get scanned?
Yeah,
Scanned.
Stan the fireman will be there,
Oh,
so, and, I'm working on something else as far as, the ice cream thing, goes, but I haven't heard from it yet, so hopefully that comes through too. So, if you ain't doing nothing on July 19th, come on down, join us, appreciate it, thank you. Yeah.
We got a tractor group, would you like us to show up? Some
Yeah, what?
antique tractors.
You have an antique tractor?
Yeah, we got a group
You want to drive your tractor down? Sure.
Yeah,
Drive your
Well,
tractor down.
that would need to be brought before the board because of the liability of,
Oh, I'm thinking he wants to drive his tractor instead of his car.
I never, that's
It's a group. They bring.
You want to drive instead of your car? Yeah,
Don't they vote on the
Bring his tractor.
Don't they vote on them too?
I planned on the contest a couple
They have
years
some
ago.
kind of-
Yeah, no, if you guys want to come.
It'll be about, 10, 12 tractors, something like that.
Yeah.
They usually take a
That'd
little
be kinda
survey
cool.
asking who likes which tractor, they take.
Yeah, they do that, yeah, they do the
Blue ribbon or
contest.
something.
They
got here
first,
before.
second, third.
we got little medals for the winners of the sack race, so.
Yeah, they're gonna have
So,
like little
for a
games.
tractor.
They're gonna have games and little games and medals for all the kids. Everybody's gonna be a winner. There's not gonna be nobody singled out. So everybody will win
It's like
something.
baseball.
All right. So bring your tractors, bring your kids, bring your everybody. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Tony, are there two things to talk to you about, right, real quick after the meeting?
Oh,
Okay, no interruption.
I wanted to mention to you that during the time when the cameras were being put up for Channel 6, and then they increased the amount of money, I had some discussion with Paul Fingerman at the time, I don't remember as well, but I asked him about that, and he said that it was only right that they had to just eat it, because it was misquoted.
They did.
So.
They did eat it, yes.
They did.
Oh, yeah, we weren't not, pretty much not.
I want to mention that. And then I received a message actually yesterday, but I didn't open up till today. Edna Hahn, the lady that we had celebrated a couple of years ago, her 100th Elvis resident. She died this weekend and she was buried today.
And that was something that I forgot was on my list. Mr. Hahn lives right next door, and he's our flag man, and he was also incidental in getting the light fixed, the light for the vet's pole, and that he helps a lot around here, so. And our condolences. And I'd also like to say thank you to all the volunteers who planted the flowers and helped with the cemetery to keep, our lawn service is awesome, but we also have other little people that randomly help, and I think it's great because that looks really good.
I have a quick question. If they, the road, whoever's doing Shea Road, if they cheap out with the gravel, who would I call? I have like a 12-inch drop.
They're not done with the shoulder yet.
Oh, I know, but I mean,
That's why it's there, because they still got to come back and do the shoulder. You mean by the end of your driveways?
yeah, I
Yeah,
just
they
want,
got-
you know, who would I call if they're just gonna put a slope like that?
Oh, call me, I'll give you his phone number.
All right.
But the road commission, but still call me, because I'm keeping a track of people that have the slope, so that way, as they're going along,
If they start at one end, they might be running low by the time they get where I
right,
live.
if they cheap out, call me and we're
All right.
taking care of it. Anybody else?
Food giveaway. What happened to food
It was supposed to be in the winter, and it was too cold, and so what's...
We had one in November, right? That
It
the
was
last
last
one.
fall, yeah, and we were
Okay.
supposed to do one this winter, this spring. But it was never rescheduled.
No.
Is there still money for it, so it can be done? Because it was gonna be
It was
done.
donation type thing, but they still owe us $150.
We could advertise for another one. We just, yeah.
Because there's still people that.
Do you wanna jump on board with that?
Put her in charge.
Can we put you in charge of that?
No, we're doing Parks and Rec.
No, but I think it's time to put that together. Anybody want to volunteer to help?
Who
with
put it
that?
together last?
I'll
Me.
take care of the
You
food
did.
drive.
Okay.
She did.
Michael.
And I don't, but right
I
now,
don't think there's any money in the.
I mean, we could put it out there though, now that we have the website, that we can get a
Put
donation.
it on the website.
Because I thought it was pretty much scheduled and it was gonna happen, but then it was cold and it wasn't gonna be here
Right,
and
we couldn't
nobody
put it
offered their building.
Right.
So I thought the money was there, so it was
Maybe
just
they-
gonna be done.
No,
I don't-
we didn't
I
have
don't think it
money,
was.
we just had that credit that
Yeah, the $150 credit.
they won't return their call to me on.
Because
What if somebody wants to?
Michael volunteered.
Michael volunteered? Okay.
Yes.
Jacob? Anybody else? All right. Motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you for attending.
Michael.